Live from Las Vegas, I'm Diego Sanchez, president of HousingWire, and I'm joined this morning by Rafael Goldberg, who is the head of Sapiens Decisions. Rafi, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Diego. It's great to be here with you.
So what does that mean, head of Sapiens Decision?
So we have an AI decisioning platform, and AI decisioning is really a new category, and it's bringing together three evolving disciplines into one place. And so if head of Sapiens Decision, what I do is I run the business, I focus on product strategy and go-to-market. And the three pillars of AI decisioning are good old-fashioned AI, like machine learning, as well as Gen AI, business rules and the evolution of that, which is really decision management, and data analytics. Now, all three of those have been operating independently as silos, and an AI decisioning platform, a part of which we're bringing to market, is bringing those together so that businesses can engage with that entire ecosystem in one cohesive experience.
So other industries maybe are more familiar with the Sapiens brand name. Maybe mortgage is less familiar? Tell us about the history of the company and what sectors you've been working with to date.
Yeah, so we got our start about 15 years ago, and we've been running at scale in production, battle tested. We really started coming out of the business rules space and rapid application development space. We felt like there was a huge gap in the market. There were business rules engines, technologies, but fundamentally no one had provided the business with a methodology and a model to discover and define their business rules requirements. And we said, let's start from the beginning, first principles. We came up with the decision model. And one of the GSEs actually loved what it did for their business, and they said, build us an enterprise platform for that on a condition that you'll take it to market so we can create a community practice.
Okay.
That's exactly what we did. And so we've had great success with larger lenders, larger banks, as well as insurance carriers and public sector. But we're really bullish and are reinvesting in mortgage roots where we started, and super excited about what's to offer.
Well, it sounds almost like you didn't push into mortgage, you got pulled into the mortgage by one of the GSEs.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So walk us through what AI decisioning actually is. AI is a big buzzword. When you connect it with decisioning, what are we getting?
You can think of it as, so the core is the decision models. These are the representations of the business policy. Now the AI piece happens in two ways. One is generative AI to help you build those structures, but you're not going straight to production with those structures. So you have a lot of governance and human in the loop and validation and testing, but you're harnessing AI to help you interpret policy documents into these decision models. Then you're implementing those decision models. Now you're getting execution data and analytics, and now you're applying AI again to help introspect that data, those analytics, to help inform you how can you improve those decision models to improve your outcomes. And so it's really a virtuous cycle at that point.
So walk me through the integration process. Am I needing to rip out systems that I already have in place? How does that integration process work?
Yeah, so we, from day one, set out to be a playmate in the playground, in the sandbox. So API first, and really, we didn't want to replace systems. We wanted to elevate decisions as a first-class asset of the enterprise. So if you think about customer experience and data, both of those are thought of, and if you look at an architecture diagram, you can see where they are. But where are the decisions? Yeah. When I ask business leaders, where are your decisions, it's hard for them to point because they're kind of everywhere. So we said, let's elevate that to a decisioning layer. That's what our platform does. And then let's make it an API economy, easy to integrate with, so you don't have to rip and replace those systems.
Who tends to become your decision maker inside the organization, the person that you're kind of lifting up and enabling and empowering with this platform? Yeah,
that's a great question. That really gets to the heart of a lot of the conversations we've been having here at the conference. It's all about operating model.
Okay.
How are you going to integrate this, not technologically, but from the operating model perspective? And from that perspective, it's a marriage between business and IT, and that's been our mission from day one. So on the one hand, we want to enable business leaders, functional leaders, who are producing policy, and they need to have a way to give that to IT to implement. And we kind of bridge that. And from the IT side, it's really that enterprise architecture group and developers that don't want to be interpreting ambiguous requirements. They want to do hard engineering work. And so we're bridging that gap between the two.
So what's the main priority? Are you helping people reduce costs? Are you helping people speed up? Is there other parts of the organization that you're integrating into and helping with? What's the main focus?
Yeah, so definitely speed time to market. So we've had a lot of customers that we've been talking to this year. They want to release new products, complex products, for example, non-QM products. That's hard for them to do with existing systems. This allows them to get to market quickly with those, so speed to market. And then cost, if you can automate decisions that otherwise you're really handling by exception and with manual policies and check the checker, you're going to reduce costs. So time and cost are both there.
So ultimately, lenders need to differentiate on something.
Yeah.
You know, some folks, it's speed to close, other folks have great technology, but a lot of folks really try to build trust with the borrower.
Yeah.
And really be there for the full customer life cycle for that borrower. How do you help lenders build that trust with their borrowers?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think it's really important in the age of AI. And you know, our category has been called AI decisioning, and so we have to be cognizant of that. And the beauty here is we're using AI to help speed up the process, but not to actually be the process.
Okay.
And so the decision model and the analytics it produce, it's very much a clear box. And so what lenders love about using our platform is when the auditor comes, they can go to the reports, push a button, and they can show exactly why each decision was made. And so that consistency is going to build that trust with their borrowers.
So I think some of the nervousness at a lot of lenders about AI stems from how can I do quality control? This is kind of a black box.
You're right.
How do you ensure that there's quality control and compliance as lenders integrate AI into their decisioning process?
Yeah, so it's key, and you know, back to our roots, starting with the GSE compliance, especially post-financial crisis. I mean, that's what it was all about.
Okay.
And so it's super rich governance. Every asset has an approval life cycle. It's customizable. And so any kind of AI that you're bringing into the system to help you inform those decision models is being checked, reviewed, validated, tested, regression tested, and then finally deployed. And so you're really pulling back the curtain on anything that would otherwise be a black box.
So I consider you an AI guru. Take out your crystal ball. Where do we go from here in terms of AI decisioning and you growing your business at Sapiens?
Yeah, that's a great question, Diego. So, you know, I feel like in some ways there's a lot of excitement, but we're also maybe a little bit in the trough of disillusionment with AI. Nonetheless, despite that, I really do believe in the agentic era. I think it's upon us. This idea of a semi-autonomous enterprise. And so we're doing POCs internally and with customers to drive out how can we apply agentic AI to the decisioning process. And I have to say it's really exciting. So I'll give you an example. One of the POCs we've done is, okay, we've talked about, we've used Gen AI to go from policy to decision models, and now we've deployed those, and now we're getting analytics. Can we apply natural language KPI to those analytics and have the agents tell us, based on the decision models and based on the KPIs, are we achieving the KPIs? And if not, if there's drift, what suggestions should be made to those models? And so that's game changing.
Totally.
And yeah.
I mean, not just for mortgage lenders, but I mean, most organizations want to hit their KPIs and understand what they need to be doing if they're not hitting their KPIs.
Absolutely.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Rafi, it's always great to catch up with you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure, Diego. Great to see you. Thank you.